I just want to remind you that you're going to crush it today.
Yo, welcome back to the lab. I'm your host, Elias Benjaloon. Join me as we dive into the science behind the hustle of badass entrepreneurs working smarter, not just harder. In every experiment, we're going to dive in on business tactics and life lessons, enjoy some hip hop, and experience a moment of gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's win this digital revolution together. As always, we're going to kick things off with some dope music, so I'll see you in there.
You can call me Superman, I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky. I feel stronger when I should be weaker. I've been drinking so much, my thoughts should.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Hustle Science Experiment. Today, I'm super excited because I've got a badass in our community. His name is Mike Young, and he is the founder of, he is the Makeover Master. So Mike, how about you kick things off and tell us a little bit about, what you're currently working on, and then answer this question for us. What got you into entrepreneurship in the first place?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on, Elias. It's nice to be here, by the way. And I am currently working on our complete brand and makeover experience with our clients. That's pretty much my sole focus of the business at this point, is coaching, mentoring our clients through brand strategy. And we also take care of their business image. So we get everything to look the part, but we also coach them along the way. So that's our primary focus. And we're currently going through a shift just with our own website, our own messaging, everything else. But that's kind of what happens as you get into entrepreneurship. You have to make adjustments all the time,
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
And what got me into entrepreneurship in the beginning was, a desire to create the business and life kind of my dreams, I would say. A lot of us have that dream of, no office meetings, no emails, no phone calls, and lots of money. So that was the dream. But it came through a massive failure in the mortgage industry where my company went under, which kind of kick-started my entrepreneurial path, so to speak.
All right, yeah, and I hope we'll probably go into that a little bit more in a minute. You're the champion of branding. I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but how about you share some actionable insights from your 10+ years experience in the space with our audience today?
Yeah, I think the key that most people sidestep for a long time is they don't decide. They don't decide exactly what they want to stick their flag in the ground or dig their 100-foot well or whatever you want to say as far as a cliche goes, but they simply don't put themselves into the marketplace in a solid position. And they typically, and this is pretty natural, people hop around a lot as they're trying to discover themselves, their products and services, their ideal clients. And so the market can never attract to you. It's I equate it to being on a slot machine that is a billion rows wide, where the only times that you can see the numbers that have actually stopped are the ones that have stopped. And so a lot of personal brands, they never kind of say, this is who I am and who I represent. This is my exact ideal client that I want to work with. And this is how we're going to show up with our products and services to make a difference in their lives. And I think if you can get very clear on those things and stop hopping around, and then understand a lot about sociology and psychology and how human beings work, that's 90% of the game is really to decide what you want to show up in the marketplace as and be consistent over long periods of time.
Awesome. Yeah. It definitely, lots of entrepreneurs struggle with this. Whether they're consultants or they're startup entrepreneurs or even people with tons of years of experience in business going online for the first time. Is this something that you struggled with yourself as you became the Makeover Master?
Yeah, as I got out of the mortgage business, I thought it was going to be easy. To be honest, we'd created a company that went from 6 employees to 250 plus employees and 10 offices. So I just thought doing it over again with a small team by myself was going to be fast and easy. That turned into be 50 plus brands that I created. 47 of them failed. And that process is where I fell in love with the branding process. I started to really see what worked and why did it work, and what failed and why did it fail. I also really enjoyed the process of the visual branding piece, the business image piece, where making everything look pretty and creating websites and all that stuff. And so I went through my own phase of really, it was 7.5 years, 50 plus brands. I spent over $200,000 invested in myself, going to courses and taking online courses and going to events, to really discover what was I, what did I want to show up as? And I now believe that a big portion of that was kind of me hiding. It was a creative way to kind of not put myself back into the marketplace again by taking all these knowledge products and all these courses and stuff. It was just this deep-seated fear of, if I put myself back into the marketplace like I did with my mortgage company, I might fail again. And so once I got over that mindset shift for myself, I really began to carve into my niche and just say, this is what I enjoy. These are things I don't enjoy, and really focus my time and energy on my zone of genius.
Awesome. Very cool. And you like you said something that made a lot of sense, which is like, these are things that you do enjoy versus the things that you don't enjoy. What would you tell an entrepreneur who is, doesn't matter where they are in this place, like they're in a position where they're working in too many different niches, there are too many different brands, too many different people. How do you help people kind of cut out all of the fat and find themselves and find their brand?
Yeah, cut to the chase, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
I asked them a very simple question. I learned this question from my friend Bobby Stocks, and it's who is currently suffering consequences from you not being as successful as you need to be and deserve to be. And so the shortcut to this whole game is really the decision to decide that you're worth it. I talked about doing things you love and eliminating things you don't love, but like I watch my energy a lot. So I kind of feel like this is giving me energy or this is draining from my energy. And I try and either hire or build systems around the things that drain my energy. And I try and keep doing the things that give me energy. And so I think the answer is, when do you decide to dig into a niche? I think it's when you find something that gives you energy that the marketplace also values. They value your products and services more than they value their money at the time. And once you've found that, it's time to dig in, because there is no magic pill. There's no magic formula out there or secret potion to making this all work. It's just finding something that you love to do that the marketplace also values and is willing to pay you for. And then if you can dig in there, the time to stop hopping around is the time that you finally want to become known for something.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess like you even going through your own experience, you kind of had to jump through a whole bunch of different brands until you've discovered what you really enjoyed and what you're able to supply the marketplace with.
Yeah, I think it's a normal part of the process. I think you have to, it's kind of like eating at a buffet. You have to try all the different foods and find out you don't really like that type of food and you really like this type of food. And you just have to try lots of stuff in the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to our next segment, which is a moment of gratitude. What is something that, and the reason why we have this is because in the space that we're in, I mean, a lot of people are constantly comparing themselves against other people, against different sorts of metrics, and really just looking for constant validation from the outside to feel any level of happiness. And, even for myself, just practicing gratitude, practice being grateful for all of the transformations I've personally gone through, for everything that I have around myself, and recognizing that has made a huge difference in my own life, and I'm sure in your life and a lot of other people. So this is just a reminder for everybody to share a moment of gratitude today. So what would be something that you're feeling particularly grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful to still be here and be in business because entrepreneurship is no joke at times. It's, people like to put all the fancy selfies in front of Lambos, but it can be a rough road. I'm grateful for my family, for my wife, um, every day, really. And I do try and practice gratitude every day. I journal almost every day, and I write down, things that I want to accomplish, but I also write little notes to my wife and kids every day and just kind of tell them, the thought of the day, the thing that's on my mind, and try
Nice.
and keep my focus to the positive.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Um, I am grateful for a whole ton of things, and one of the things I'm grateful for are people like yourself making the time out of your busy schedule to come onto my show and talk to me and share some value to all the people that are listening. And I'm grateful for all of the relationships. I met you through Lance, so I'm grateful for my relationship with Lance. It opened up a lot of doors to a lot of really cool people. Moving to like a life lesson, what would be one specific life lesson that you would want to share with our audience? We're really making you the teacher today, Mike.
Sure, man. You mentioned it with Lance and with relationships in your gratitude there. I would say that the one lesson I learned is that all business comes through people, and all money comes from other people's bank accounts into yours for an exchange in value. And so I see a lot of business owners and personal brands today that are out there trying so many things. But if you almost look at it from drone footage, and just look from above, they're tweaking things on their computer or their website or the way their logo looks or their landing page. And they're not running into enough real human beings with real relationships and having real conversations that open up those window of opportunities. And so you've even seen that in your business and your podcast is you start having real connections, and pretty darn quickly, we're all 6 degrees of separation or less from some really amazing people. And so really quickly you can go from Lance to Mike Young to Oprah to, Barack Obama or whoever you want. It's like relationships and being authentic, being yourself, and just trying to give value to other people instead of being selfish and thinking what you want will get you everything that you want.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I heard this quote before, which was marketing is all about relationships. And it's always been that way. Business is all about relationships. And even though, we've gone through this entire transformation through the internet and technology, and it's totally flipped business and marketing and all these different things upside down, at face value, at the end of the day, the principles are still the same. And it comes down to building those sort of relationships with people. What about people who aren't sure where to start? What are some of the things that you've done to build relationships with people when you first got started? I've heard some people do cold email, some people talking to people on Facebook, going to a local networking group. What are some of the things that have worked for you?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is to really understand how a normal human relationship evolves. There's a book by Desmond Morris called Intimate Behaviors that just talks about the normal process of eye-to-eye contact all the way to intimate relations, and AKA sex. And and so if you can understand the normal process, what I find online a lot of times is people are trying to skip too many steps. They are sometimes, like you mentioned, cold email, or they're messaging your inbox. It's like, hey, nice to meet you. And the next question is a sales question, or would you mind sharing this thing? And it's like, I don't even know you yet. And so it's very much like asking somebody to marry you on the first date. And so understand how the normal human relationship evolves. And then so many people are far too impatient. And I think that usually comes in the beginning because you have cash flow issues and you want to make money and whatever. And so you literally become socially kind of inept. And it's like you skip all these stages trying for the sale, when if you would allow the relationships to develop and decide very early on that I'm only going to work with people that are a good fit and a good energy match for what I have to offer, you'd save yourself a lot of headache. And so like our average sale takes 6 months from when people start following me to when they buy. And too many brands out there are trying to condense that 6 month period into 6 hours.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So what you're pretty much doing is I mean, because I see this in real time, creating real valuable content, showing up at events, showing up at conferences, showing up on podcasts, on Facebook Lives, meeting people, bringing people into your network. And where a lot of people make the mistake is they just go and ask for the sale right away, not even do what you're doing, but they're just messaging people and asking for a sale.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is people have to stop doing that. Like, and kind of put that need for money in check and whatever other pressures they have going on to go try to get sales from people instantly, and just focus on creating some value for people, and then for you, it's you bring them into your Facebook funnel or to your Facebook page, and then they experience your content, they get to know you. And then after that, people who want to do business with you are going to reach out to you. And that's pretty much the process for you, I bet. And then they'll hop on a call.
That's it. When it comes to online, I have a posting strategy that is systematized in a certain way. Things are broken into where I kind of know I want this many posts, with my family and travel and certain things. And I want a certain percentage of my posts to be proof and social proof. And so there is a method to the madness, especially when it comes to personal branding. I think adding value, you mentioned it, just adding value to the marketplace, being real, just being human with other people, and just looking somebody in the eye and saying, how can I help you? And when it's not something, if somebody comes to my business and they say, I want you to do my logo and mow my lawn, it's just not the right fit. It's like we don't do certain things and we do other things. And so I think getting very, very clear on who you are and how you help is a big key to that, because then you can just give away all your knowledge. Like, knowledge is nothing these days. You can Google anything, you can find out how to do just about anything on YouTube. And so give away all your knowledge really just positions you in the marketplace as non-needy, and it shows your expertise. And people are attracted to that. People are not attracted to people that are overly needy when it comes to sales.
What do you think about people who are building out their Facebook profile, and they've got their posts going on, and it's very obvious that they're doing content marketing, and then they post something that's off brand, but so off brand that it might alienate their potential prospects and make it so that people aren't attracted to them. Is that something that you've experienced or seen or anything like that?
Yeah, there's actually, there's a strategy through polarization where you intentionally post things that kind of rile up your haters, so to speak, but it's intentionally done to where you're trying to further distance the people that will never buy from you anyway, that you actually don't want to buy from you. And it actually makes people that do love and care about you and know you like and respect you even more. So there is a strategic play with polarization. The people I think of that do it very well are people like Howard Stern, where it's something, I don't know the exact stats, but something like 84% of his show is listened to by people that love Howard Stern. And it's like 86% of his show is listened to by people that hate him. And so he has this ability to like play that love-hate relationship, but the people that actually hate him listen to his show a little bit longer than the people that love him, which is weird. And so I think when it comes, what I see more often than not is people post things off brand and confuse the heck out of their audience. So one day they're posting, it makes them look like a life coach. The next day they're posting about being a podcaster. The next day they're posting some product sales, and you can't tie the dots together. So you have no idea what that person stands for. And in their quest to put money in their bank account and trying lots of different stuff, they're actually becoming known as nobody to no one. They're wildly confusing their audience because they're doing too many things. And I think that only gets tightened up once you really get a brand strategy and say, this is what I stand for. These are my values, my belief systems, my mission. These are, kind of my milestone stories that led me to where I'm at today, and get really strategic with how you run your personal brand.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I love that. Thanks for dropping that value. That's kind of like that actual roadmap for what somebody should do if they're just getting started with their online brand, or wherever they are in that path, but they haven't figured it out yet. Which did you want to say something?
No, go for it.
Okay, which was gonna lead me to the plug. Mike, tell us how people can get in touch with you, how they can work with you, and feel free to share. You said that there's a specific method to the madness for when it comes to personal branding. So, that's what you offer pretty much as a service. Could you tell the audience about that and how they can get in touch with you?
Sure. My website is themakeovermaster.com, and my social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is at Mike Young Makeovers. They can start if they want to dig into personal branding and figure out how does this stuff work. I've got a free mini course. I also have a free audit that people can do on our website. So they could go to themakeovermaster.com/audit. And the mini course is themakeovermaster.com/start. And both of those will kind of open their eyes a little bit to how this stuff works. I wrote a book last year, and I have what's called the Makeover Method that walks people step by step through the process of personal branding and kind of what it takes to go from, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, to an authority in your niche.
Awesome. Yeah. Super excited. I'm going to share all of that content on our website and everywhere we post this. Thanks so much, Mike, for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Elias, thanks again.
Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. I feel stronger when I should be weaker. I've been drinking so much, my thoughts shouldn't be any clearer. Too many things on popping, so much so that I should be rude. I got no fucks to give, cause tonight I'm in this kind of mood. It's true, y'all got me fucked up cause I give, but y'all wanna live like I ain't did nothing for you. And I can't forgive that when I needed you, you treated me like you didn't know me. Fuck it, tonight I'm Superman and you can't just blow me. Ha! Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call him Superman. He's so faded, I again got him in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call him Superman. He's so faded, I again got him in the sky again. If I die, I wanna be remembered as the fucking guy that you bring to mama and she know that I would always ride. I'm just in my feelings cause I knew I always took his side. I don't give no fucks no more because what's mine is mine, it's mine. So I pop another Molly till the time turns to 9. Then I leave and get to work and smoke a blunt and I'll be fine. Then I get to work at home and put a natty in my mind. Got no problems leaving you behind, someone's in my line. Got some problems, now you ain't one. Got new kryptonite on me. This shit is gonna be fun. It's fun. Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded, I again got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call him Superman. He's so faded, I again got him in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call him Superman. He's so faded, I again got him in the sky again. Oh God, not again. again. You can call me Superman. I'm so faded high again, got me in the sky again. Oh God, not again. You can call me Superman.